be home for Christmas. Just kidding. The holidays are coming right on up. Do you like my festive blouse? And for most of us, that means some family time. So I want to share with you some tips that are going to help you negotiate family time and holiday time with a little bit more elegance. So one of my favorite quotes as of late is, if you think you're enlightened, spend a week with your family. I love this quote very much because it is our family that designed and installed our buttons, so they know exactly where and how to push them. Now, most of us tend to get triggered when we go home. We tend to fall into old habits because everyone is seeing us as the teenage version of ourselves. Even though we've been growing and evolving, the people that we left when we were 18, they still see us as that little kid. This is why it's super helpful to come at this with a new perspective, with fresh tactics, and with a lot of love and compassion. If something happens over the holidays and Uncle Ted is drinking too much and Aunt Matilda is screaming at you, and something happens that triggers an old fight or flight stress reaction, what I invite you to do is mind the gap. Stop, take a breath, feel your feet on the ground, and ask yourself, how do I want to respond to this situation? Now, this mind the gap concept I learned from my friend Jamie Zimmerman, and there's always a little gap between the stimulus and the response. What we want to do is simply take a breath into that gap. Instead of flying off the handle and screaming at someone, if someone says something to you that you don't like, or maybe, God forbid, the subject of politics comes up, stop, mind the gap, take a breath, feel your feet on the ground, ask yourself, how can I respond to this in a way that I'm going to feel proud of tomorrow? Now, the second tip I have is to meditate. If you don't have a meditation practice yet, you can check out zivameditation.com/online. And if you do have a meditation practice, it's even more important that you make this a non-negotiable part of your day. Being with family, traveling home for the holidays, this can all burn up our adaptation energy, and meditation is the single best way to fill your cup. So even though it may feel like your time is limited or you're not sure how to sneak away, sit up and meditate in bed first thing in the morning. Tell everyone you're running to the coffee shop and find a quiet place to meditate there. Say you have a conference call with your boss, which is not a lie because nature is now your boss. So prioritize finding time for yourself. If you take that time for yourself to refill your reservoirs with bliss and fulfillment, then you're going to have so much more to deliver to your family. Which brings me to my third tip. Let's say that the proverbial stuff is hitting the fan and it is all going down. People are screaming at each other. Maybe they're even yelling at you. Instead of reacting to it, what if you simply sit there and love them? Yep, just sit there and love them. Even if they're yelling at you, what if you notice the most beautiful thing about them in that moment? Maybe they took a lot of care with their hair that day, or maybe you can see the twinkly lights shining in their eyes, or maybe they really took some time on their mascara. It doesn't have to be deep or profound, but notice the most beautiful thing about them in that moment and put your attention on that. It will feel nice for them. They will feel that love coming towards them, and it may even soften their behavior a little bit. So instead of trying to go into the family and fix everybody or prove to everyone what a success you are or try to get all that validation we didn't get when we were children, what if instead we use this holiday season as a time to deliver some love, as a time to deliver some fulfillment, and to be very generous with your time and attention? I promise it's going to feel better for you, and it may even start to transform the behavior of the people around you. All right, friends, mind the gap, meditate, and hold the people you love in the most beautiful light you can see them in. All right, I hope this helps you have a blissful holiday season, and I'll see you next year. Happy holidays. Now, if you want my best tips for getting deeper sleep, increased productivity, having better sex, and ultimately performing at the top of your game, head to zivameditation.com/tips. You'll get instant access to my stress-less guided meditation and life-changing goodness delivered directly to your inbox. Are you doing it? Are you typing it in? zivameditation.com/tips. It'll seriously change your life.